Hello everybody and welcome to more action coming at you. Encore Overwatch, Celestial Wind versus SS Nautilus. I'm Ariel. Once again, I am here today with Gorbacheese. Gorbacheese, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. A little bit more Overwatch action tonight to continue into the weekend.
Definitely excited for this one. This match features our reigning champions, Celestial Wind, formerly Team Rocket. And so this will be our first chance to see how they stack up against the new competition that they face. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at our bracket just to see what has happened so far. As last night, Aquatic beat TAMU White 3-2 in an excellent match. And hopefully we get more of the same here from these two teams. The winner will go ahead and advance to face Aquatic in those semifinals. And the loser will play tomorrow against TAMU White in what's going to probably be a very tense match of winner or go home Overwatch. So let's also go ahead and introduce our teams here. Gorbacheese, why don't you, being a part of Celestial Wind yourself, why don't you give us a little introduction to them?
Yeah, well, Celestial Wind, they just did it all. They won the finals last time around. And you know what? Most of the lineup is back in this time around too. So there's high expectations being set. A lot of their focus came from that strong support and damage lineup. Just lots of synergies all across the board as these players have been playing together for well over a year. And then going on over to SS Nautilus, a lot of very similar things. It doesn't seem like there seems to be any weaknesses in this lineup. Their tank lineup is just stacked with what they've got. And I'm getting really excited heading into Dorado to see what these two teams pull out.
And speaking of Dorado, once again, this is our first map, our starting map for week 1. And then from there, loser will pick maps from there on out, starting with Control, Hybrid, Assault, and then into Escort if we are lucky enough to get that far. But I think both teams are ready to roll, so we'll be getting in.
Seems like we're waiting on one more team here to ready up here.
Okay.
A little bit of a change as you see coming out of Celestial Wind here, as one of their DPS players is going to be playing tank tonight. Not sure what's going on here or what the plan is here, but I am intrigued to see what they pull out. Oh, looks like they're going to ask for a pause.
Not quite yet. We're there.
Already,
we're almost there.
Already server issues happening on the side of on our casting duo here.
It's all right. Listen, we just want to get you into the action. You know, we know you're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. We're ready. We're hyped. Ready to see this match against Celestial Wind versus SS Nautilus. So going into this match, obviously you know Celestial Wind very well. We've said it from time and time again. So what do you think we're
like a
going to
bit
see
of a bathroom break?
Well, I mean, might as well get that out of the way, before you're actually into the match. Am I right? But what do you expect to see Celestial Wind thrown out here on Dorado?
I will say I have not spent a lot of team time playing with Celestial Wind when they have practiced Dorado, but if I know Celestial Wind at all, I'm going to be very intrigued to see some sort of ball tracer comp. They've been really hammering these on even maps where it doesn't make very much sense. And they've just been only practicing these kind of comps because they know that if they can cause enough confusion for the other team, they will pull out maps. So it's going to be up to SS Nautilus to be able to corral the chaos that's being created by Celestial Wind here if they're going to hope to win these maps.
And as we saw yesterday, the team that was more creative tended to win a little bit more often. And I think you and I have spoken on this previously, but Celestial Wind can be very creative. So SS Nautilus will need to be on their toes if they're going to want to take this match from Celestial Wind. And personally, I'm not going to complain with seeing more creative compositions. And that's honestly kind of what carried them last season, was they were able to pull out some things that just stymied opponents. They weren't able to adjust quickly enough. So once again, from the two teams we saw yesterday, we saw some good adjustments, and SS Nautilus is going to need to take a page out of their book as well, and just consistently adjust from map to map and within maps.
And last night's matches could have been very different if we didn't see this creativity come out. King's Row was almost wrapped up by Team TAMU White, and then all of a sudden, just all of these ultimates being pushed in, and they were able to quickly take over points 1 and 2. And it really came down to the wire on point 3. But what could have been a quick 3-1 in favor of not Nautilus. I keep wanting to call them Nautilus, but they're Tamu White. Could have been a very quick 3-1, but you saw the creative plays coming out and it ended up going the other way. It looks like both teams are now ready, so we're going to go ahead and get into the match here. Celestial Wind here in the blue, SS Nautilus in the red. Hey, look, it's me.
So SS Nautilus on the attacking side first, so we'll get to see what lovely creations will be able to come our way, and hopefully it's something nice.
Yesterday, we saw both teams come out on a double shield to start out their defense. I kind of want to see if there's any creativity here, because both teams were able to easily get past that double shield concept with a dive. And it looks like we're going to see that ball comp come out with Celestial Wind here. Versus a double bubble. What do you think about these two concepts, though, here?
Well, I mean, I'm certainly. It's great to see the Sombra again. We saw a little bit of Sombra yesterday, I believe, on Temple of Anubis, and it worked very well. And again, I'm a big proponent of your tanks and your DPS diving together. So Jorge and Brock, if their timing is right, they can get some tremendous.
4-man anti-nade right outside of the gate. Already, it looks like they were going to extend early there. Not much of a follow-up onto it, though. Looks like that was just built for ultimate charge here. And the dive's going to come in onto the Ana. They're going to have to find a way to save her from this. The Ana is definitely going to be the target, but Firecarder's going to be the first one to fall. 360 gets hacked up by George there. He's going to have to find a way to escape here. And he does. He gets healed up, and everything's safe. It looks like they're going to be able to come up onto this high ground and take it from them. Car rolling under the bridge now, with not much hesitation into it. It's falling low, and here comes the dive on a Kamehameha. But he's going to get the sleep on him. Sag is anti. The switching targets onto this Diva and gets the DMAC onto them. Now 2-man up for the SS Nautilus. But dive continues to come in. They are just not giving them any chance to set up anything. And it looks like that's going to give them most of point 1 here. It's going to have to be a recontest here from the ball. Dive coming in out of the back line. But Firecarder dies again immediately. Firecarder for Hoth Hansu. And it looks like Aaron's going to find 2. Blow for blow, though. Hack comes in out of the Diva. But that's going to be a trade onto Aaron. No DPS now on the side of Celestial Wind. And it looks like this is just going to be cleanup for SS Nautilus.
Really quick first point there from SS Nautilus. Celestial Wind seemed to be not as crisp as they needed to be. Seated high ground very easily. I can't remember who died, but one of them died very quickly. And
Pulse-Bomb kills Kame! Just a very late kill, but there doesn't seem to be anything stopping them from taking this space here. But it's just slowing down these rotations. They're not able to set up the ways that they want to here. And so long as SS Nautilus can continue to put them on the back foot, Aaron with his tactical visor, kind of in a weird spot though, because he's not able to see very many targets. It's minefield onto the point. They now have point control here. You can't walk through those minefields. Denies the res with the pile drive. Brock's just going to continue to stall at this point, giving his team enough time to set up where they want, and that puts all 5 of them up on the high ground. Nano Monkey coming into their back line. Both supports are in a lot of danger here, but he's going to back out and then go after Aaron. Primal Rage with the Nano Boost onto him. But Firecutter is able to keep him alive. EMP Bomb coming onto the point. Is they going to find it? It finds 3! Sag finds 3 kills onto the back line. And finally, what they've been looking for, the setup pays off, and they're able to finally clear the points.
Yeah, the value of that ball finally coming through with those mines. Brock able to stall a lot of time, and as you said, giving Celestial Wind that time to set up, the time to generate ultimates, and George and Sag able to connect with a huge EMP bomb combo.
Several ultimates used, though. Now there's a huge 3-to-1 ultimates in favor of SS Nautilus. Boops the Winston off of the high ground. They need to set something up fast because SS Nautilus is looking to come in onto that backline really quickly. kind of a cross-map poke here. Not really sure what their engaged target is. They're looking for something, but they're not quite finding what they're looking for. Or Grav coming all the way onto the other high ground, just catches the Diva. Grav Dragon is going to quickly... No, she keeps the mech just barely, and she's able to lose it just barely. Sag, Brock comes in with another minefield. Well, that's a really fast minefield, and it gives them enough time to build up a few more of their ultimates here. They're going to have another recontest here. Nano onto the Brigida here. Seems like it's just going to keep her alive, but I'm not really sure what they're going to be able to gain off of that. Looks like it'll just be the tactical advisor here for the recontest. George, close to that EMP, and not very many ultimates on the sides of SS Nautilus as they're getting close to finishing checkpoint 2. Winston, falling dangerously low, gonna jump right back in, but he has that primal rage, he's gonna be able to keep himself up. Into the back line, gets leapt. Isn't able to do much more after that. He's gonna need the help of his Diva to push the payload. Opalite falling dangerously low, but they find Kamehameha! Headshot from across the map from Hotten's hands. And they're going to start cleaning up the backline here. Stahl's going to come out from this ball comp here, but it just doesn't seem like they have the ability to get it. Fire, Carter, and Brock, the only ones holding these point here, and they're going to fall too. A little bit better of a defense on point 2, but that timing is looking very healthy.
Yeah, I think the story of that point was 360 just being able to do whatever the heck that they wanted to. The Winston able to just stay up on that high ground, harass both Fire Carter and Kamehameha. The backline just not able to do anything about it and getting no assistance, and that allowed so much space for the rest of SS Nautilus and really allowed them to do whatever they wanted.
It looks like they're going to opt for a stronger core here, swapping over to the McCree. And Honor's going to find Kamehameha. He is just not allowed to live this game. Constantly being chased by 360 and by Honor most of this map. He's going to also finish up killing Brock. Running out of time here to be able to contest this point. We've got 30 meters left, 2 minutes on the clock. It's looking like they're going to have this Grav Dragon, though, to be able to push in here. Rally to push onto the cart. But that rally's going to get picked up by the Grav. Grav Dragon's going to... But they nano him to be able to keep him alive. Brock finds Gucharoma. Diva Bomb gets eaten up pretty quickly by 360, but he's going to pay for his life by dying Fire Carter. Rezzed onto 360, but Kamehameha is going to kill the Mercy. And that's going to be a cleanup. Lots of ultimates invested from both sides, but it doesn't seem as though it goes in favor of SS Nautilus this time around.
Yeah, unfortunate that the Grav from Sox didn't get a whole lot of value there, only landed on Fire Carter, and Kamehameha was just able to nano them and keep them alive. A little bit of a harkening back to the old days where you just couldn't kill Brig.
Can't kill Brig. Looks like just tank ults on both sides here. Getting pretty close to that nano here. They might look to try and build that up quickly, and just to say at 40% immediately, just like that. Looks like they're going to try to stage a dive onto this Kree here. He's very split from the rest of his team here. And here it comes, nano onto the Winston, but he gets booped away! Gets flashbang, I think that makes him fall off the hip. And Kamehameha kills Hot and Sue. Quick disengage, but Primal into the backline, but he just does not have the health pool to be able to stay alive. Aaron finds 360 as well. But they're going to trade it. Hot Hands gets... That's rezzed. Brock slept, not able to push any further onto that Anna. Fight starting to slow down here. As Hot gets hacked. High Noon onto the high ground here. They're going to keep that Anna and that Hanzo stuck in that little corridor there. Anti-Nate does not connect onto them. But the pulse bomb does connect. Rally's going to have to be used in desperation, but 2 are already dead. They've got to disengage now or else they're not going to be able to hold this point. Honor finds the kill on the Sag. No more Diva. So no way to eat the rest of these shots. 4 meters and counting. Deep Brock is going to be able to stall here. With the nano boost, goes for the Diva. Aaron does manage to kill Honor, though. Oh, these exit frags coming in, but nobody touches. Despite getting 2 kills, he's not able to go back and touch the point. He must have been expecting his Diva to touch there.
That was quite the series of events. But SS Nautilus able to push through all the way, which pretty impressive, I must say, for Dorado. But I think a lot of that there was just, even though the couple kills, not able to follow up on them. And again, you just had 360 just camping by spawn, not letting anybody out to help maybe continue the fight there. And just, again, an unfortunate little bit there for Celestial Wind, but harkening back to the start of that fight, a huge pulse bomb from Honor taking out Kamehameha. It's those small, like, ultimate plays that can really flip things on its head. And so, coming into this attack, Celestial Wind is going to need to find more opportunities like that if they want to take SS Nautilus down.
Yeah, we saw yesterday a lot of maps went to 0.3. Kings Row went to 0.3. This map went to 0.3. But they weren't always taken. It seemed like defenses were able to figure it out as the maps went on. And even though a very healthy time bank, you got to be okay with that defense, I feel as though. 3 minutes off the clock from 0.3. Looks like they're going to opt for the ball comp again here. Into this, instead of double bubble, they're going to run the Diva this time. Aaron going to come out onto this Widowmaker. See if he can spot out this Winston here that's hiding on the high ground. Looking for an early engage. Shot disconnected in 360, but that's not going to do anything to the tank. And here comes the dive onto the Widowmaker. They're not going to allow her to get any sort of space here. But the counter dive comes in. 360 just barely gets away with his life. Brock gets hacked, but it doesn't seem as though they're going to be able to follow up onto that. A big sleep. They managed to kill Honor. Not able to translocate away in time. It looks like there's a bit of a split coming in here. Half the team is pushing top right, and the other half is pushing top left here. But SS Nautilus just wants to push the fight into one square direction. They are not going to fall for these off angles here. 360 following dangerously low. He's going to have to get healed up here, and he just gets away. Tracer into the backline, though, onto Aaron. Not sure if he's going to be able to survive here. Aaron down to 1 health, and he does find the kill. Hot Hands kills Aaron. Here comes the dive on the backline. Nano boost going for the Kamehameha Anna. But he gets the sleep, and he gets woken up. Kame in a lot of danger here. And the rest of the team is getting cleaned up outside of that. With the supports gone, you can't push into that without them.
That's just brutal as an Anna. You make a great play to shut down that ultimate, and unfortunately, somebody wakes him up, and you pay for it with your life.
Lots of poke coming in. The Diva gets hacked here. George off on an Ong angle. Here, it looks like they're going to try to pressure out this core here on this high ground. They're going to have not very much success. The Brigida is able to keep them up just fine. But no mech on the side. All right, Diva Bomb coming into the backline. Not sure this can be able to find anyone. George is going to pay for it. Pulse Bomb finds Kamehameha again. How many times are we going to have to say this? Kame is just getting blown up by these Pulse Bombs, and the rest of the support comp falls beside that. Minefield used in the backline, but that's not going to find very much value, because the team's not able to push in and take the point. 360 though, late kill onto the tank. Gonna see if he's gonna be able to get back in time for this next engage, but a major ultimate advantage going in favor of SS Nautilus. Gonna look for some heroics here. Maybe a pulse bomb like we've been seeing from Hot Hands. Maybe this Hoppy's able to pull something out. Rallies traded from both sides. Engagement's gonna be going in. EMP finds 4 though. Oh, see if this rally can be able to keep them up here. But it doesn't matter! EMP catches 2, but they still lose 2 lives. Nano boost on to Winston into the backline, but he's not going to be able to find anybody. That rally armor was still in effect and not able to keep them alive. 360 pace for it there. And the engage comes on to the Brigida. This is just going to be cleanup here for Celestial Wind.
Finally, they are, as they finish up these kills here, able to break through this first point defense. And I think a lot of that had to do with that very late exit kill and just taking that opportunity. A lot of teams sometimes won't necessarily press up as soon as they should, but they did a really good job of exploiting that, and they're continuing to do so, pushing the ticket.
Aaron takes Hot Hands out right away. They are not letting them set up any kind of dives. They understand that if SS Nautilus has a chance to be able to take their fights, they're not going to be able to kill them. Although, they're going to need to make up a lot of ground if they want to match this time bank. Already looking very slim with 2 minutes 45 seconds.
No, they just might do it, getting all of these kills once again onto 360. And look at their ultimates. Oh, they got 5 of them coming into this next, well, maybe 4 as Brock continuing to push
Minefield was going to take the high ground here. They're not able to station the high ground here, and that gives Kamehameha a window to be able to kill Honor. They cannot push out, but Gucharma kills Aaron. Oh, but it just keeps trading back and forth. It seems as though every time something goes well for either team, somebody just feeds on the other side. Rally's gonna come in to try and stop this primal here. The Nano Winston not able to get anything. Rally's been able to keep them all up. But at least he doesn't pay for it with his life like he did the previous time.
Yeah, I was about to recommend that SS Nautilus try to get out there, but they were able to get some couple of exit kills there. George pushing up a little bit too far.
Swapping onto the prime. Oh, there. He's gonna die. He's gonna flip the script. He's gonna dive their backline just as theirs has been getting dove all night. And just as we've been talking about the rally from the other side, this rally's gonna be able to stem this one. Bomb does find the Brigida. Must have lost their shield slowly after her. Gonna force out the immortality though onto Kamehameha. But it's looking as though they're just onto cleanup mode. But Sox is gonna have to find a way to stall at this point to give his team another chance at point 2. Tracer's gonna come out next. Anybody after this, Tracer's gonna have to force it out. But he uses a pulse bomb. Late ultimate into what felt like a losing fight. And just as that point 2 started out as an ultimate, this one's also starting an ultimate. Just taking as much space as they can. Not letting anyone go. Despite winning the point, they don't care. They want to keep winning the fight way after the point is pushed out. 2 minutes, 26 seconds here left on point 3. Similar time break to what we saw from SS Nautilus. This EMP versus this Pulse Bomb here. We're going to have to see if this Pulse Bomb can be just as heroic as Hot Hands was on their attack. Dive comes in onto the back, but here comes the EMP. EMP catches 5. Everybody but the main tank right onto that backline. Kamehameha's going to die. No rally will be able to save him this time. No immortality after the EMP. Pulse Bomb onto Opale. Hey, support's traded out here. And it's going to be 5v3 situation. Aaron finds a third! Turning this map around. Sox in a lot of pressure here. But they're going to push out the Lucio instead. Aaron also kills the Lucio. Aaron, 4 kills, is able to turn around that entire map. And we're on here to the last leg of point 3.
What looked like a surely lost fight there for Celestial Wind turned up on its head by Aaron. Looks like they're continuing again to push forward. And they'll have a couple
Not letting them breathe even a little bit. George, onto the Reaper now. Oh, and Firecarter gets hacked, but he's able to get off that rally. Primal into the backline to try and force them out, but this rally, you can't stand there. Sag, bit of a defensive pulse bomb to keep the Winston out. Oh, he's going to fall dangerously low. Diva Bomb into that small corridor. Doesn't find any, but Sag will take Honor out with it. George kills Kama before he's able to get that beat off. Window from the high ground kills 360. His coalescence is going to be able to stall them out here. Firecutter falling dangerously low, but he's able to escape. Got it. With a second. Forces out the fade. No orbs for you, Fred. And Pulse Bomb does not connect. In fact, no Pulse Bombs here will be able to save their team comp. The Ball Tracer's gonna have to try to find a way to stall at this point. Aaron finds the kill onto 360, and they're just on the stagger point this time. Moira's gonna have to be the next one to touch. EMP connects onto all 6, but it seems like a little too late. Tracer, next one to contest. Just one at a time. And now there's a minefield in your way. Not gonna be able to get through that.
Well, certainly a treat here as both sides able to push all of the way, and we'll get
and both sides have the exact same time bank. Not very often do we get to see this in Overwatch. Both teams finishing perfectly the same. 1 minute for both sides now.
1 minute apiece to prove their dominance on this map. So after seeing these first attacks from both sides, and I believe Celestial Wind looks to be attacking first. What does Celestial Wind need to do to have a better point 1 than they did on their initial attack?
Well, let's be honest. They got punched in the mouth with that first defense. They were the champions, and they expected just to walk in here and just take a free map. They will not get such an easy match that they thought they would from SS Nautilus. They're going to take them all the way here. And so now they're going to need to really step up their game. No freebies in this tournament.
They definitely seemed to be at their best when they were, kind of pushing the envelope and taking taking basically what the defense gave them. Whether it was a late exit kill or just a timely ultimate kill. Once they got that upper hand, they really pushed and pushed and pushed. And if they continue to do that, I think they'll have a good chance here on point 1.
They're going to come out on that Ball Echo this time. Ball Echo Tracer. And they understand this time that they need to push out this high ground. Aaron going dangerously low, going all the way in to try and push off a Winston Tracer. He's not going to be able to take that 2v1. They're just going to be stalling out this point here. Not really able to take any pressure, but 3 people are antied. Does not seem to matter, though. Despite getting 3 antis, it seems to be the kills are going in favor of Celestial Wind. Rez coming in on Gucharlma, but he's going to pay for it with his life. Hot Hands kills George. Might be able to get an early recontest here, as it seems as though it's starting to get pretty even. It looks like they're gonna go for it. Sag dies. No more D.Va. They get the res onto it. Look for the remech here. Remech does hit, but the Nano's gonna be able to keep him alive. Aaron finds 1 with and 2 with Brock. Fuck, they're gonna have to fight over this point here. More heroics coming out from the DPS from Celestial Wind. Stall time coming in for both teams as they need to worry about this overtime tick marker. But it looks like it's gonna go in favor of Celestial Wind here. Tracer's going to be all that stands between SS Nautilus and the more rest of this map.
So it looks like SS Nautilus might have a chance to recontest here if they so desire. Though it looks like, are they just backing up?
Looks like they're going to wait for point 2. Lots of ultimates coming on both sides, but support ultimates are going to be the difference here. Celestial Wind has both of theirs, and there's 0 on the side of SS Nautilus. D.Va Bomb coming in, but Hot Hands kills George! There's no ultimates required for that one. Both support ultimates being used. This window's kind of in a weird spot here, just kind of overlooking the entire fight. Hot Hands finds a second, but they're just trading blow for blow. Brock takes out the support line, and the ultimates just end up being too much. Both DPS trying to get some heroics here as Hot Hands finds a third. He's trying to take over this point all by himself, but Overwatch is a team game.
And certainly trying for the hero play with the flank, but unfortunately the number's just too great there from Celestial Wind. Coming into this next fight, Celestial Wind will have some more opportunities to push the envelope. They've got a bomb. They also have a clone, and let's see what they'll be able to do with that. Maybe create some space with the bomb. And
he's going to already pressure on Kamehameha. George pushing in, but falls dangerously low. He doesn't get the clone off. Honor finds the kill and is able to prevent that. Sag eats the pulse bomb. No heroic pulse bombs this fight. Hey, High Noon finds 2. No supports on the side of Celestial Wind. Bombs, desperate bomb coming in. Does not find any. Sox finishes to finish off Brox. It's just the D.Va to be able to stall at this point now. And that is where the checkbox of victory is going to be for SS Nautilus.
That's got to feel absolutely brutal there. You have George, you have the ultimate, and you're just not able to get it off. It always feels bad when you're not able to use everything that you have at your disposal. But just SS Nautilus did a really good job of recontesting that as quickly as they did. And I think a really smart decision from them not to try to make the hero play and not give up the first point. They decided, you know what, we could lose the battle, but we don't want to lose the war. And just good, smart decisions. And an easily attainable win condition here. You just have to get it part of the way through that second that second stage.
And being a long-time teammate of George, I already know he was mashing that ultimate key and he was yelling at his computer monitor. What a hothead this guy is. But being a hothead does not necessarily mean that he's not a bad player. These are obviously 2 very tough teams, and they are going to go slug for slug here in this fight.
Yeah,
looks like they're going to opt for the McCree Soldier? It looked like they were hovering over the Sombra there, and looks like they're going to go Soldier Tracer here. Bit of a swap up here from their previous defense. Brock setting up on this yellow house again, but it doesn't seem as though they know he's there. He's going to get the slam in. He's going to slam up 3 different players here, but he gets slept. It's already having to burn the rest of his adaptive shields. Dive comes in onto the backline here. Kame falling dangerously low. George also getting really low, but he's not able to secure any kills onto them. Dive coming in again with the bubble. It seems as though they really want to execute with this bubbles here and be able to get as much energy for their Zarya as they can possibly get, while also building up this primal. Hot Hands is going to find the kill onto Aaron, being able to trade out with 360, and Sox is going to kill off the D.Va. Already down in a 6v4 situation. Celestial Wind's going to have to back out here if they want to get a recontest here on point 1. Hanzo's looking for Kamehameha. Vision Arrow in onto the supports. They're going to look to try and take away the supports before they can take a fight.
Celestial Wind has to be careful here of feeding into Sox. Definitely want to try to dive around both of
Hive
those
comes
bubbles.
in onto the supports. Buddy gets booped away. Firecutter is able to protect his Baptiste this time. And they punish 360 for going so hard in for it. Very good Brigida play to be able to prevent that dive there. And just no follow-up coming with it. Prevents the resurrect, and then just clean up from here. Honor's going to have to try his hardest to stall at this point. But that's going to be it. The overtime Wicker falling low. Celestial Wind. It's going to take map number 1.
I don't think I've ever seen a Zarya bubble be deleted as quickly as that last one from Sox onto the Mercy. It's like, oh man, that's a free res for them. And then the bubble is just, there, it's not, and then the Mercy's dead. And what an amazing play here from Saj.
It looks like SS Nautilus is going to win out point 1 there. They're able to take the first point completely without any ultimates. They're able to burn down 2 different kills, 1 on their support, 1 onto the tank, but the entire rest of Celestial Wind, they understand this. They completely disengage, and they're able to save all of their players for another recontest, another fight onto point 1.
Alright, so we will see where SS Nautilus is going to take us. It's a control now. And I believe we can choose from, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, Lijiang, Nepal, and maybe Oasis, I think is what, I literally read the map pool off last night.
I think so. That sounds right.
Good old brain here. And by the way, what do you think of kind of how this map pool is laid out? Normally, Control would be first. However, Escort is first. Seeing it from yesterday's match and going into today, do you feel that this changes the way teams have to play?
Yeah, see, when both teams have goes into their neutral map that neither of them picked out, that's when you start to see those 2 teams really have to figure each other out. But once the team is able to pick their own side, able to pick their own map, that's where you start to see the creativity come in. Like, why is it that SS Nautilus wants to pick Lijiang? It's probably because they have already set up in their own minds what they're going to do here. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a 5-minute break here. Both teams asking for a pee break. So we're going to have a little bit more time to discuss what's going on here.
Absolutely. So coming into Lijiang, after what was an incredible first map, and after the display that we saw yesterday, I think this has a really good potential of being quite the close contest and potentially filled with a lot of stalls, especially seeing compositions from Celestial Wind with the ball, and Notorious, spin to win, stall character, something that can really frustrate teams if they're not focused. So for SS Nautilus, is there any specific compositions you want to see them to run to maybe negate that, or what do they need to do to make sure that one fight doesn't equal 99%?
Well, it seems like SS Nautilus seemed to have that idea figured out on their own attack. They understood that if they don't give them enough time to set up for anything, and they're able to engage onto their backline before the ball tracer is set up to be able to engage, that is where they found their better and better. Fast engages, fast ultimates being built up, and they're able to just completely put Celestial Wind on their own back foot. But when Celestial Wind is given enough time to develop their own plays and to be able to develop their own controlled chaos, as they like to call it, that is where Celestial Wind is really going to win their maps. And you saw it when they were able to completely disengage, when their entire core was able to set up along with their ball tracer, they were able to just completely take apart the attack that SS Nautilus put together there on Dorado.
And controlled chaos can be quite prevalent on Lijiang, so it's going to be very interesting to see how, or if rather, SS Nautilus can execute on what they're hoping is their game plan, as obviously they've taken us to this map. Looking at the match, I think we're going to be getting a substitution here. I believe Clones will be coming in for George. And I think Clones is going to be playing tank, and maybe they'll be switching Brock over to DPS. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it looks like Brock was the DPS player for this team, and it seems like there were some technical issues going on from Clones. But now Celestial Wind is going to have their entire main lineup set here. So when you already are down by one map, you need to hurry it up and make the adjustments now, because Celestial Wind, it's not going to get any easier once they have their main tank in.
Yeah, definitely the off-rolling there, and you're still able to go up 1-0 is such a powerful thing. And so, oh my goodness, this is going to be a tall task for SS Nautilus, but, you know, I think they could be very well up to it, as both teams are getting ready here, and we can get some hot Lijiang action headed your way.
Like, we're still waiting on Nautilus here. I see, what SS Nautilus needs to do here, they need to understand that even though they're down one map, this is their map pick. This is their chance to be able to dictate the rest of the pace of play, not letting Celestial Wind get into a little bit of a groove here. We saw when Celestial Wind was hitting on all cylinders last year, they were unbeatable. And they were 3-0ing almost everyone in the map. But then as soon as they got to that finals last year, that is when another team put them on the back foot, going all the way to 10 maps, really forcing them to really really adjust on the fly.
Yeah, and that's kind of almost like there was like a slight microcosm of that in the last map, specifically with Celestial Wind getting on a roll. Rough first point, and then second point went pretty well, and then they kind of got into a rhythm and were able to complete third with what looked to be a really shaky time bank on first, turned out to be just an equal tie, and then they also got to attack first on the preceding overtime stuff. And they just continued to roll and were able to push it all the way halfway through first point before finally being stopped by SS Nautilus. And then come defense time, SS Nautilus couldn't even cap first point. So definitely really got them rolling there once they figured things out, figured what SS Nautilus was throwing at them. So let's see if SS Nautilus can either stem the tide or if Celestial Wind will be able to continue to get things rolling, especially now that they've got their full kind of entourage available to them.
Yeah, and you saw it, most teams, they want to come out and start on defense. When you're able to start out on defense, you get to decide where the checkered flag is, where the golden box of victory is going to be on the map, and you can base your attack around that. But Celestial Wind just completely throwing that out the table and just forcing SS Nautilus to play nowhere even near the checkered box, not even letting them get to point 2 where they knew where the point was. Seems though we're still waiting on a few players from SS Nautilus here as we get into Lijiang Tower. What exactly do you think SS Nautilus is going to be looking to pull out here on Lijiang? We saw that Monkey Zarya comp for most of the map there. Do you think they're going to be pulling out something similar, a little bit of Winston, or do we see a little bit of a Reinhardt rush here?
Honestly, I feel like I'm down for either. Maybe just like a slight change of pace, going for maybe a Reinhardt rush to just shake things up a little bit, show something different. Trying the dive has been kind of what both teams have been going for, but maybe just a different play style, able to dictate things a little bit more if you're on point with it and able to get around the map. And so I think I would go ahead and try that if you think that you're not going to be able to match some of those more divier compositions.
I almost want to see SS Nautilus pull out even more compositions than just that. Prove to me that you are not just a rush or a dive team, that you can play all the compositions across all the maps, that you can match the ball comp that's going on with Celestial Wind, that you can not only match the ball comp, but then you can also play other comps to be able to slow down these rotations. Maybe you play a bunker comp. We saw a lot of bunker comps yesterday, and none today so far. Which is proved to me, because the best of the best teams are going to be able to be the ones that can adapt on the fly, not just be really good at one comp, like we've seen so far from both these teams. Both these teams have only played Winston Zarya on the side of SS Nautilus, Ball Tracer on the side of Celestial Wind. I want to see these teams really start to get into the depths of what players they have. It looks like SS Nautilus will be ready. We're going to get right into the match here on Lijiang Tower. One of my personal favorite maps. You know, I was a main support in this league, and so being able to play Lucio, any map where you can get environmental kills is just too fun.
And this will have plenty of opportunities for it on, well, pretty much every stage has a place where you can get some sort of environmental kill. So maybe we'll get some hot Lucio environmental kill action. We did see a pretty good boop yesterday on King's Row. There was a 2K.
That's right. Looks like we're gonna start off on Marketplace here. Looks like you're gonna come out with the ball comp again here. This time, with instead of the Tracer, gonna come out on a Mercy Pharah. I'm not sure that Torbjorn is real though.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain if it is.
He likes to be a little bit of a tease, it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like an Orisa Reinhardt comp for SS Nautilus. This intrigues me a lot. With the Doomfist, they can get the pull punches. They are not going to let anybody take any space. It looks like they're going to leave spawn with this. They're going to teleport the point first. They're going to have to find a way to break this heavy bunker brawl-esque type composition. Celestial Wind's gonna probably play around the point though. Spam in from multiple of these windows here. Looks like we did keep the Torbjorn though for Aaron. The D.Va's gonna be the first one to push into the point here. Falling dangerously though. Oh. Kamehameha is gonna find the first kill though. The advantage for Celestial Wind here. But the point will flip for SS Nautilus. Early ticks coming in their way, but 3 kills now going the way of Celestial Wind. They're gonna have to figure something else out here.
So, quick point flip there, and Celestial Wind will go ahead and take that over. But for SS Nautilus, you just gave them way too many opening opportunities there. You allowed the Pharah to spawn from, or spam you from behind. Kamehameha was able to get a huge couple of anti-nades there. And then Clones was just running through the point at will. So it looks like they're going to go ahead on to a ball D.Va, and let's see how they try to execute this.
They're gonna match the ball comp here, it looks like, but instead of a Torbjorn, they're gonna pull out a Tracer. Just really pressure this ball and not let him play the game. Kame, the first one to go, 360 kills him, and they're gonna push right to point. But Aaron matches it and kills Hot Hands. Block's gonna be able to also kill Guchar Mula. It looks like they're just trading blow for blow here. As though they get the first pick, and although they take away the main source of healing, they're not able to push onto the point and continue to pressure them. Looking at 6 ultimates on the side of Celestial Wind. SS Nautilus have to figure something else out here fast. Swap onto the Torbjorn. No more Tracer. Not very often does we ball Torbjorn. Most of the leagues have been playing ball Tracer, even yesterday even.
I think maybe your main goal in this fight is to just draw out as many ultimates as you can.
D.Va Bomb into the backline, catches Guchar Mula, but Saj is going to pay for it with his life. The Torbjorn ultimate's gonna force them to have to play somewhere else here. Brock wins the Pharah duel, not gonna be able to thread that. And Barrage is just gonna clean it up here. 78% and counting. They've got to get out now and figure something else out fast. We have not seen very many ultimates on the side of SS Nautilus here.
It really seems that they've just been at a compositional disadvantage from the very get-go, and that might have just cost them the match.
Kills Gucha very early here, 93% and counting. They're gonna have to do this without their support. And Brock's gonna kill Honor. Now it's down to a 65. As Gucha Mula gets res. Kame kills the turret. Minefield on the coast there. They cannot push through that way. Hey, as it seems as though Clones is gonna pressure out Gucha Mula. Nano gets off onto the ball. They're gonna have to stall at this point here and hope their team can get back in time. D.Va Bomb onto the point to clear it off, but it's not gonna be able to get the cap here. They push right in. Honor wins the 1v1 on the Brock. Not this time, he says. Kame's gonna go ahead and trade it out though. No fares for either side. 360 gets slept and immediately woken up by the turret. As he gets antsied. He's the only one stalling out this point here. His life is falling dangerously low. Minefield onto the point. That's not gonna be enough.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Bit of a strange compositional choice here. The turret's gonna wake up whoever gets slept quite often, and both teams seem to be opting onto this Torbjorn ball comp.
Yeah, it was definitely something I wasn't expecting, but unfortunately, just for SS Nautilus, again, I'll say it again, the composition was just, unfortunately, didn't work out with the double shield with the Rhine and the Orisa there.
This is getting exciting. We saw Celestial Wind pull this out last season when they won the entire tournament. Lucio Mercy, just no backline. They do not care about your 6-man. They will have no one to dive onto. This is a complete set play. Boop is gonna find 2! They just walked right onto the bridge and nobody stopped the concussion mine. That's gonna be an early fight win for Celestial Wind, and a lot of ultimate charge going in favor of them. and clearly just not letting them set up at all. They are taking a fight directly to their spawn, not letting them dictate any pace of play here. The Tracer is going to be pressured out here. Use that recall. He's going to need to get away. But as she's trying to get away, they can't really chase because they're just taking so much Ferris spam.
It's almost as if Celestial Wind is just, most of them are playing chicken for Brock to, you know, shoot everybody else as they're just, you know, kind of like, oh, can't catch me, can't catch me.
And close kills Honor in their spawn. They're just not allowing players to play the game here. But they traded out. Firecutter is dead. That was the dive target. The Lucio was unable to escape from them. They're going to have to find a way to stall at this point here, now without a D.Va mech. This ball tracer comp, it's been known to stall out points very aggressively. Lucio next back in. Here comes the minefield. Brock kills Moira. Not that much support, but a beat comes in to be able to keep them alive. Only catches 3 though. 2 of the players did not get that beat, as Mercy is just completely ruined by the DPS lineup of SS Nautilus.
That was a big
Firecutter
also onto Brock there.
Aaron does kill Gucharmula though. So, as it now seems like these exit frags are coming in, this stall is lasting forever, up to 50%. It felt like this fight started at 10%. Barrage coming in very late, does not find anything. Probably gonna want to have that one back. Reaper ult also just doesn't get anything. Lots of ultimates just being used and whiffed. This whole lesson is gonna be able to force on the point. 62% is where it's gonna last there. And they're gonna have to disengage. No more stalling here.
So definitely not the worst stall that we've seen come out. So SS Nautilus does have something to be thankful for there. But beat upcoming here for Celestial Wind, and given how much they want to, oh, this bomb is
a string bomb right into the flyers, but it doesn't find them. Trying to find the Pharah Mercy with that bomb, but they just hide around the thing. Mercy gets hacked. They're gonna put them in a lot of pressure here. They dive the Mercy and they just blow her up. Completely well done by this Honor there. D.Va bomb for the remake, but they've already lost their Pharah Mercy. Not a lot of damage left on that team comp. Aaron may have been heroic before, but he's gonna really have to pull something else out here now. Down 6-3. And he's gonna end up falling. Beat not used there. Beat pulse bomb minefield on the side of Celestial Wind to that EMP. This EMP is gonna have to find the Lucio. Attack coming onto the Pharah. This Sombra is not letting this Pharah Mercy get into a groove here. They are understanding exactly the strengths of Celestial Wind, knowing that if we just don't let them play their game, they are not going to win this match. Clones does kill Honor. No more EMP. This beat is free now. 67% and counting for SS Nautilus. They're going to have to find a way to stall out here. Beat comes in. Aaron with the sword kill onto Opal Light. Barrage under the... They're investing a lot of ultimates here to take this point here. D.Va, D-Max from the minefield. So Lucio, Sombra are going to be the ones to stall out here. And it looks like there's going to be the swap. 86%, one fight territory.
Honor still has that EMP, but on the other side, Firecutter still has the answer for it if they can hide effectively enough. But if you game this out right, you might have a free Death Blossom from
Opalite dies very early, not allowed to rotate through there, as the Reaper's going to force out his fade. Large amounts of percentage points on both times here. Brock kills Gucharmula. And Honor. They're losing players rapidly. They're going to have to get out fast if they want to get re-engaged here. Very desperate at Coalescence here to push out the Pharah. But Sox is going to get D-Mech. He does manage to get the boss off. Aaron kills you. Firecutter with the beat does not allow them to touch. Great boop on the side of Firecutter.
No point for you. That's what Firecutter said right there. And Brock hammering things on the Pharah. Honestly, it looked like for a time that SS Nautilus, of course, it's going to be the boop. Why wouldn't it be? But it looked like...
this boop, it just completely secures the entirety of that entire first attack. They just don't get to have a fight. So we're going to take a little bit of 5 minutes here, because it appears as though we've got some technical difficulties in the lobby. Just give me 1 second here.
All right, well, we will go ahead and cut away to just give some time for the technical difficulties, and we will see you guys on the other side. A great game so far. Celestial wins 2-0 over SS Nautilus. We will see you on the other side of this break. Alrighty, looks like we are back. Right back at you here, and it's just a quick little break there, but in that time, SS Nautilus went ahead and chose King's Row.
A little bit of technical difficulties on my part. Apologies to our viewers at home. Sorry about that. But Celestial Wind with a 2-0 lead here in this map. They've got to turn it around here if SS Nautilus wants to stand a chance in this entire tournament.
Yeah, you don't want to be, sent down to the losers bracket this early. You obviously want to have a chance to maybe compete in that semifinals or finals. But if they're gonna do it, it needs to be now.
It looks like they're gonna pull out King's Row here. They understand that they have not been able to get anything going against this ball composition. They're gonna be looking to try and force them into a brawl mirror, I feel. See what they come out on here. Although, if I know one team very well, we can expect to see a very interesting defensive comp here.
Ready for battle.
And as I say that, they decide they're just going to meet on Brawl.
I mean, it's King's Row, I mean, you got to, right?
Everyone's favorite map. Or at least, depending on who you ask, some people might find that to be a very controversial statement, but a lot of people really enjoy scrimming on this map, so it's not a surprise to know that both of these teams have played this map several times together, just regardless of how old the team actually is. It's going to be an exact mirror, just as we saw yesterday on this May Cree here. Both teams played it yesterday as well, not opting for the May Sim that we've been seeing in other leagues.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Please might defend objective A.
Gonna be looking to see how wall usage is used here. As you can split the other team just properly, you can win a team fight very easily without having to spend very many abilities or cooldowns. But they're gonna push right onto the point here. Celestial was gonna let them in and immediately wall them up. Kind of a bait, if you will, but Sag gets frozen up. They're not able to push onto the targets that they walled off. Immortality comes out early though from Opalite. Firecarter's gonna kill 360. And without that main tank, you're not gonna be able to position yourself on this payload. Wall coming out. They're going to keep looking to continue this fight. Well after the fight was over, they're going to look to get as many exit frags as they can as the D.Va pushes in onto this onto Hot Hands. That's just going to give him all the ultimates that he needs. DPS ultimates on the side of SS Nautilus, but none to be seen on the side of Celestial Wind.
We have to get a timer for how quickly Kamehameha got that Batiste window. That was insane.
Yes, much faster than his other Batiste counterpart here. But both teams are going to be looking to take the engage again. Again, immediately taking the fight and that cutoff right away. Window, kind of in a weird precarious spot there. And the high noon finds too. Aaron completely cleans up that mistake there from Opalite. Right, sometimes you just put down the window and your mouse just flicks up a little bit. And because it's on the floor, it just goes in the middle of nowhere. But at least they get out of it, not investing very many ultimates. They're going to come in now close to 5 of their own. 5 ultimates versus 5 ultimates here. 2 minutes and 22 seconds as SS Nautilus decides this time they're going to push around on the statue. They're going to give the high noon there and wall off. Now they're able to push onto the point much more favorably. No more wall to be able to split them. So now, SS going to figure out a way. Big freeze in the backline there though. Oh, 360 kills Kamehameha. They invest all these ultimates, but they're not able to find much. 360 does go down though. The trade 364 Kamehameha. But they're going to clean it up here. A little bit of a split push there from SS Nautilus, and it's picked apart by Aaron. Beat coming in. They want to keep fighting it. They want to try to get as much out of this point as they can. Bomb comes in, kills Firecarter. He just peeked a little too high over that ledge, and he's able to stay alive. And the entire team falls apart. Late lamp coming in, Kame just staggering in. 4 minutes on the clock here for point 2. Bones pushing way in, and they're just gonna take him right away. It's just, why did he push in there? Right into the entire team. Too late exit frag. Just as we saw Celestial Wind push the pace, the tempo, and take fights well after point 1. Now SS Nautilus is pushing or even further, pushing all the way into point 3.
Absolute terrifying if you are Celestial Wind right there. I don't know what Clones was thinking there. maybe thinking that had a little bit more support, but unfortunately pays for it with his life, and that will give 360 a shatter here in this fight.
High Noon coming out, forcing them to play, but High Noon is matched for it. One goes first, and the other one gets walled off. I'm not sure if he's walling in. The Diva Bomb coming in, but they get away. No, 360 gets hit by it. Immortality comes out from the side of Celestial Wind. They're not going to have that going anymore. No more Fire Cutter. They can't speed into this. They've got all the room they need to. Coming out, kills Sox though in the backline. Hot and Sweat, Hot Hands kills one, trading Aaron and Hot Hands, trading blow for blow. Which McCree be able to kill more? Hot Hands kills Aaron. Hot Hands trying to prove the dominant McCree here. 3v3 here on the cart. Window having to be invested by Kamehameha, but he's not going to be able to find any value when they just walk through it. You can't shoot through the window if the other team's already pushed through. What was a really astounding .1 defense from Celestial Wind completely falls apart here on .2. They might get one more re-engage here. And they don't even go for it. Hot Hands kills Brock, late exit kill. Losing all these deaths, but you're not preventing any cart progress. Late Lamp, and they're just going to continue to push the message, not letting Celestial Wind even have a moment to breathe. Or myself!
SS Nautilus, they're really doing a good job on this brawl and being very, very aggressive. As soon as Brock was killed there, they understood that it was pretty much free fight win. They were able to aggress onto clones without fear of that wall or the freeze from Meg. And 360 was able to just swing away.
Celestial Wind gonna be pushing off this high ground here. Gonna be looking to take a fight where they can swing at their Reinhardt, but their Reinhardt can't get to their team. Ice Wall comes out, splits the team. Immortality is gonna be keeping half of them alive. That May Wall is gonna do its job to prevent that High Noon here. It's gonna be a May ult and a beat coming out. Fire Carter kills 3 Sky. 2 ultimates invested, but they're able to keep their entire team alive. Fire Carter with the beat of himself. They're able to turn this around completely. 2 early ultimates invested from SS Nautilus to produce 1, maybe 2 kills. Not enough if you're gonna try to win fights.
And for Celestial Wind, going into this next fight, once again, Kamehameha will have that window, and then Sag will have a Diva Bomb. So you have some tools here at your disposal to once again try to fully cement.
Window coming out early. Window bomb coming in. They're going to try to completely split their team. But Shatter comes through, but he dies to the bomb before the Shatter gets off. He went just a little too soon. If he waits 2 more seconds, he can get the entirety of Celestial Wind. Brock is able to clean up the rest of the kills there. Oh, complete mistiming from 360.
That was a very costly mistake. You lose an ultimate and you lose the fight, and you pretty much just fed a little bit more into Celestial Wind. Aaron will now have that High Noon available, but hopefully you can quickly take this with Opalite's window and Hot Hands'
Bit of an ultimate advantage going for SS Nautilus here. The window's going to come out early to take space, but it gets walled off. That wall is not going to last very long to that window. They have to completely disengage to get away, and the High Noon's going to force them back even further. High Noon fights 3! Hot Hands with a 3K. Brock's going to fall too late. And this is going to be a complete cleanup. They've got to figure out something fast if they want to be able to stall out this point here. Aaron onto the Tracer, desperation mode. 10 meters left to go, minute 30. Tracer's going to be the one to touch. Clones onto the ball. Get the stall here. Fire Carter falling dangerously low. He's not going to be able to get this beat off in time. They're running out of tools here to be able to retake this point. Brock's Mayult is going to have to be very good. Mayult is not going to catch any. It gets blocked by Honor's Maywall. Maywall to prevent the other May ultimate. Sad's going to get D-Max. Kame does manage to take out the Immortality field, though. They're not going to be able to keep this alive. 1 minute 4 seconds left on the clock. What a great .2 and 3 push from SS Nautilus after what seemed like a very dire .1.
Yeah, they really turned up the heat there, and honestly, this is the statement that you needed to make after being down 2-0. You really needed something to feel good about, and SS Nautilus gave themselves just that opportunity. Consistently controlling the tempo, getting those key first picks, and then understanding that because of the nature of these compositions that you just have such easy fight wins with the picks that they were able to get. And so now we'll see if they'll be able to continue to push that here onto the defense and see what Celestial Wind's response will be.
Ready for battle.
Very fun composition looks like it's being locked in by Celestial Wind. And coming in with the double shield Farah Mercy here, they're not going to match this rush again. They understand when SS Nautilus is able to push the envelope on what they want to do, when they're able to take fights, further and further into the map, then they are going to have a chance at victory. Celestial Wind not going to allow them to even have a second to push into them with this bunker comp. Kind of hope to see if this Bastion sticks here.
It'll be very interesting. I mean, again, I would say that I doubt it. However, knowing Celestial Wind, you never know.
Attackers incoming.
They're going to leave spawn with this
Oh.
Bastion. Double shield being pushing right out into the choke here. They're going to back out immediately. Complete respect for the amount of damage. But look at this. They're going to wrap around this statue. They're not going to let them drop off this high ground here. Just don't let them walk through, and then they'll just won't be able to set up anything. The Sox preventing them from being able to take this high ground here takes a lot of damage. But the Pharah is on the off angle here. They've got to find a way to be able to prevent both the Pharah damage and this Bastion damage coming from two different angles. And Aaron finds Honor. Not able to prevent the Immortality Field. The Immortality Field goes well before. The Clones falls off the high ground. I think that was a boot from Gucharmula, but it doesn't seem to matter. They don't need the main tank as long as Aaron and Brock are able to do so much damage.
Great thought
Looks like
process
it's going to
there.
be an early comp. Go ahead.
So, great thought process there from SS Nautilus, understanding that you don't want that Bastion to rip you to shreds, but they didn't account for the Pharah. And as soon as they made that first positional change, they didn't follow it up.
They're
with
taking
another.
an early engagement in here. Sag in a lot of trouble is going to go down fast. Immortality not able to save him. Aaron is inside the middle of their team. Doesn't matter how much damage you can do when it's all getting eaten by that Diva. It looks like there's going to be some early kills here. They're going to look for a close hold here, it looks like. And just like I said, they back all the way out. They're going to let the point push into this tunnel here.
Well, they weren't going to make the same mistake twice, allowing Brock to spam them out again. So they decided to take an early fight, which is what they needed to do. As Celestial Wind has
Brock
a bevy of ultimates at their disposal.
Brock's going for the flank. Barrage kills Hodden. They're going to not be able to prevent anything else. The Pharah ultimate coming from behind. The Bastion coming from the front. How do you prevent all of this damage from coming through? The entirety of the team just gets completely destroyed. They're able to wrap around them. But as I say, 360 kills a late kill onto Aaron. Looks like they're going to keep the Bastion. Even after using the tank configuration, they have complete faith in this Bastion pick.
Well, given that the payload is rolling, potentially Bastion would be able to get back up and set on that. You have both support ultimates. You also have a Gravitic Fletch here from Sag, which will be able to control the team, pop them up, and hopefully get Aaron a lot of free damage.
Here comes SS Nautilus. They're going to engage with the High Noon and the Bomb. Bomb kills Immortality. High Noon kills Sag. And the window's going to be able to let them stay on the point for free. Aaron can't out-damage what's coming through this window. Healing. Honor kills Carter. Late ultimate being invested here. The already feels in favor of SS Nautilus. But as I said, a lot of players looking low. Sox gets demeched by Brock. Incoming comes the Bongo. They're going to look to continue this fight. Even though they're down 2, they don't seem to care. Barrage coming in. He built that barrage so fast, but it doesn't matter. Hot Hands takes him out right away. Cleanup kills coming in. Not sure. There were so many ultimate being invested here. You wonder if they're going to make a composition swap here.
Yeah, it looks like they
Aaron
on
to the McCree.
And the stagger. Oh no! A true
He's
Sag.
going to play Hanzo. Looks like they're going to keep this Orisa Diva composition. They must know about this Mei ult here. They want to try and eat this Mei ult. But you wonder if they know about this Shatter. Early damage coming in from Brock here. He's going to wrap around, try to look for this Baptiste here who's on the high ground here. But the Baptiste already well aware of him, doing early damage into Brock, not letting him set up. As damage goes into Brock, none found from the Shatter. 360 gonna fall dangerously low as Opal down. There is no healing for this Reinhardt. He's not able to stay alive. Guchamula in a lot of danger as now the Mei is inside this gauze of Celestial Wind. Hot Hands gonna need to find a way to escape here, but they just one at a time just pick apart this defense.
I think a lot of that had to do with this flank from
And
Brock.
now here comes another Brewster. We saw the Brewster on the Sag, paid right back to Sox. You do it to us, we do it to you. And look, they're going to be taking another early engagement. Normally, Pharah not known for this indoor map, but they don't care. They're just going to continue to push the envelope, trying to get as much value out of it as they can. They're able to take this first high ground. They're not going to let them out past this choke. Normally, you know the defense is playing choke, but now it seems the Celestial Wind has put the script on them. 3 minutes, 27 seconds. A lot of time bake left here.
Brock's gonna have a free barrage here if they want it.
Oh, Brock gets taken out. He's not able to get the barrage off. Firecutter does get the res off somehow. She gets away from it. High Noon coming in. Gonna keep him away, but Aaron, insane shot from across the map, kills Hot Hands with the help of that bongo. Oh, Brock completely dismantles the backline. There's nobody left alive here for SS Nautilus. They've got to figure something else fast, or they're going to be looking at a deficit in time bank here.
Not sure if they'll be able to.
No one's able to touch. 2 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. A huge time bank difference for Celestial Wind.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Just a lot to unpack there. And I think I want to go back to that that second point fight where Brock and Firecarter kind of went around and flanked. And something that is very important, I feel, when fighting a Pharah Mercy is that that's obviously two players dedicated to helping each other out and trying to provide the team with a lot of damage. And just, again, an off angle that the other team has to worry about, specifically SS Nautilus. And so on SS Nautilus' side, you have Hot Hands on the McCree trying to ward them off. You also have your Batiste looking at them as well. But it doesn't quite necessarily equal that Pharah Mercy combo. You're not able to quite as consistently pocket Hot Hands as the Batiste, especially given that Batiste was on the high ground, McCree was on the low ground there. And unfortunately, so even though they did pay attention to Brock, they weren't able to quite repel it as they should have been able to, because the DPS, as the Cowboy, you're not able to stick around and get as many shots as you would want in that scenario, because you have to worry about the Pharah gunning you down because you don't have that consistent pocket.
Looks like we're going to see a very similar composition. Instead of the Orisa, though, they're going to come out on the Reinhardt, but still keeping that Pharah Mercy. And an Ashe here from Aaron. No more bashing today. Dynamite doesn't connect onto any. They're going to rotate into the hotel. They understand there's a lot of spam damage coming from all around, so they need to try and avoid as much as they can. They're going to post up right here on the wall. A bit of an anti-nade, but they don't manage to find any kills on it. This Reinhardt from Clones, I don't know how they're going to be able to sustain him here. It seems as though a lot of their composition is based on wrapping, whereas SS Nautilus is going to look to push a hard engage onto Clones. Sag gonna touch for a little bit here now, and Clones is just gonna post up on the corner. Does not want to get too aggressive here because he does not have the kind of resources that 360 does. Anti-nade coming onto the Lucio. Oh, they're not able to speed onto it when the other team is in danger. Hot Hands kills Brock, and Nano comes out of Clones to keep him alive. Clones kills Guchamula and hits a shatter. Two-man shatter. Just as it looked like SS Nautilus was gonna turn that fight around, Clones with a massive shatter turns it around. 2 on the point, though. They need to find a way to contest this point. 1 tick already down. Anti-nade from Kame finds 2, and they're able to clear off the maze. Mail coming in. That's going to find Aaron. Aaron's not able to get away from that. But it's just not enough as the reinforcements come from Celestial Wind. It's Lucio. He's living forever, though. High Noon kills Sag and Firecarter. Celestial Wind better figure something else. That Lucio was able to stay alive for so long and was able to keep the point along long enough for SS Nautilus to win that fight.
Wow, coming in the clutch there, the Lucio stall. Hot Hands able to come in and really make use of that epic team play with the double Deadeye kill. And now coming in, you still have to face this potential barrage coming up, and you also have to face up a Bob, rather. And it looks like the Ashe is going to go ahead and try to flank around as well. So once again, you're going to be fighting a war on 2 fronts.
Here comes Celestial Wind. They've got to find a way to stop this payload too. Bob coming in from behind. The Ashe is on the complete thing. The beat comes in to save him, but the Bob finds one. This barrage does enough damage that 360 also goes down. Bombs out from both sides, but Kamehameha goes down. But it doesn't matter. They're not able to touch the point.
Well,
check mark box of victory has been set.
3-4. Switching sides.
I think you definitely take a slight moral victory there, or maybe, I don't know if moral victory is what I want to say there, but I mean, it's a small win. You had a lesser time bank, and you were able to at least capture first point and push a little bit into second there. So it's not a horrible ask here, but there is 2 minutes and 56 seconds for Celestial Wind to come and take this. But at least you've given yourself a little bit of breathing room if you're SS Nautilus.
And Kucharmula has just been playing incredibly on that Lucio this entire map. He has just been not allowing Celestial Wind to be able to take all the engagements that we want to. We saw it heavily on that first attack. On that attack, he was able to stall at that point so that they could take point one. That fight was over, if not for him. And then that beat coming in to save them, despite losing the fight anyway. Looks like they're going to have a very similar composition, but they're not going to roll out on the Bastion here. They're going to stick with that Ashe. They're going to look for this Bob to be able to contest the point here. Looks like SS Nautilus is going to match them, though. This time with a Sigma instead of a Diva.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good to see the adjustments here. Let's see if they end up actually working out for SS Nautilus.
Do or die time for SS Nautilus. They need to earn this next map. And Celestial Wind is not going to make them easy for Ferris, spamming from spawn here. They understand there's a lot of damage coming from that bunker. They need to play very carefully. Early shield break coming in there. Sigma has to use his hands. But the barrage damage coming in. Both tanks get pooped off the high ground. They do not have the high ground. Now the tanks are going to push out. This Bastion is going to have free reign onto the shields here. Honor kills Kamehameha though. No more for main heals here. Just the Mercy. The Mercy does find the res though. They're not able to deny the res. Immortality comes in, able to keep up their tanks. Fox kills Immortality, but there's a very slow fight coming in. Celestial Wind wants this fight to take a long time so that their Pharah can build up her ultimate, can get into a good position. Brock sees the Tracer flank there and completely obliterates Honor. Power play here for Celestial Wind. And SS Nautilus has to find an exit pick of their own or else they're not going to be able to hold this point. Sox gets pulled here, takes a lot of that damage. Brock then takes out that tank too. Gonna go right in for the Immortality here. Immortality's able to keep that bear alive during her barrage. Incredible Immortality from Kamehameha. The Ashe is gonna get pressured out here, and that's gonna be point for Celestial Wind. Minute 32 left on the clock. Like SS Nautilus has to find a way to win a fight here. Close to 1-2 fight territory.
Looks like Aaron's going to try to take a interesting position over there. But for now, SS Nautilus happy to hold around this corner and try to use the length of this little alleyway. Okay, yeah, looks like he's going back over there.
1 minute, 30 meters left to go. Celestial Wind eyeing their first map win. They want to go to the winner's bracket, and they want to go now. Window used, but doesn't get much point, but it does give them all that space. Clones is now playing ahead of the checkmark Fox victory. They've got to find a way to push through him. Immortality used early to save Clones though. Sox kills Aaron. No Immortality to save him. There is not going to be a tank configuration. Sigma coming in a little late here, does not find any. Bongo also used. They want to win this fight here and now, especially when he needs to get him out. There's going to be another fight. Less than a meter to go. 30 seconds. Aaron swaps on to the Hanzo. Gonna be looking to get some early kills here. Ultimates not on favor of SS Nautilus. They've got to find a way to shut down some ultimates here. Bongo Barrage Bomb in favor of Celestial Wind. 19 seconds and counting. 5 meters to the check marks the victory. Shield Ward coming in, pulls all them together. Pharah looking to get into a position. Clones kills Hot's hands. And there is no Ashe to be able to prevent this Pharah from going in. The bomb kills 360. The Pharah comes in. SS Nautilus is getting completely taken apart here. And that's going to be it. Celestial Wind going to the winner's bracket. They will see Aquatic next Friday night.
Just a dominant showing here from Celestial Wind, reaffirming why they won Season 1. At times for them, it looked like SS Nautilus had some of the answers, but really what ended up pulling this through for them were those adjustments. Able to just consistently find an answer for whatever SS Nautilus was throwing at them.
Yeah, I mean, SS Nautilus made adjustments on the fly. They made the correct adjustments that they knew that they had to do to be able to counter that crazy comp that we saw from King's Row, but it didn't matter. Celestial Wind, they had already made preparations for this. They knew if we see this, then our Pharah is then going to play this differently. You could see the Pharah play much more passive, much more damage directed behind the shields. They were not able to prevent anything that Celestial Wind threw at them. Just insane mind games being played. SS Nautilus makes a switch, and then Celestial Wind immediately counters that and completely swaps their gameplay into it. just incredible on-the-fly swaps coming in.
And this is certainly going to make for a spicy matchup. As you said, next Friday they're going to Celestial Wind will go against Aquatic, and we saw Aquatic make many adjustments of their own in their victory. So it'll be interesting to see how those two teams will be able to duke it out. And
SS Nautilus, they're not out of it yet. Tamu White, they show that they're a very strong team, but they are very beatable by SS Nautilus. SS Nautilus, if you're able to commit these kind of changes and these quick decision makings against the best of the best team from last year, you can do that against any team.
Absolutely, and even as we saw, it may have been a 3-0 here if you're SS Nautilus, but something to consider is that in the finals we had a bracket reset, so the team from the losers bracket had to win twice, and they actually did win that first game, and so with just because. Oh, sorry.
Team Rocket had 3-0'd that team that they saw in the finals earlier in that season. So they went into that match knowing, oh, we 3-0'd these guys. We can take them down easily. And then they got completely smacked in the face. Just 4-1 loss in that first round of the finals.
Yeah, so if you're SS Nautilus, don't give up hope, because you can, if you beat Tamu White and make it all the way through into the grand finals via way of the losers bracket, and if, let's say, Celestial Wind is still there, it very well could be a different, matchup, especially given how much you'll have had, to prepare for that second matchup. So you're definitely not out of it yet, but tomorrow will be that do or die situation as we have Tamu White and SS Nautilus going head to head, and will be our first elimination of the tournament.
And if I'm a player on SS Nautilus, I want every chance to be able to get another crack at Celestial Wind. I've got a bad taste in my mouth after going down 3-0 to these guys when almost every single one of these maps was completely winnable. You had a complete dominant showing on attack on King's Row, and you need to be able to continue that kind of consistency going through.
Absolutely.
But that being said, I want to get into my player of the match. Very impressive showing from Celestial Wind. And a bit of a late swap. They had a DPS player on their tank. But all that being said, I've got to give it out to Kamehameha. His immortality usage was incredible. Early on, he was playing Anon Dorado, and he was getting completely swept around by the DPS lineup of SS Nautilus. Swapping onto that at Baptiste, he was unkillable. He was completely unkillable almost every single fight, like, turning around most losable fights and being able to win them anyway. I think back to King's Row, immortalitying the barrage. That barrage gets to live and kills the entirety of SS Nautilus.
It's playing on a completely different level. I can't remember. I'll have to look and see how quickly they were able to generate their Batiste window, but it was like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, somewhere in that
way
time
faster
frame.
Than anyone else in the lobby.
That might be one of the fastest times that we've seen here in Encore Overwatch's history. So I'll have to go back and time that and see how quickly they brought that up. It was just incredible, the amount of healing output, and also just the cognition of, as you said, being able to give the immortality field to the Pharah while they're barraging. And the small plays like that, often sometimes won't get seen depending on where the camera's looking or what the viewer is watching, but they really do help bolster the rest of the team. And really, I think both supports for Celestial Wind today were just on a whole nother level. And it gives you a whole new level of confidence, whether you're a tank or you're a damage, knowing that your supports have got your back no matter what happens, and it allows you to play a bit more freely, be more aggressive, and push the tempo. And Celestial Wind was able to do all of those things thanks to the support line, specifically Kamehameha.
Yes, 100% agree. And I look forward to even more incredible Overwatch coming through here.
And speaking of more Overwatch, let's take a quick look at our bracket. As you can see, Aquatic and Celestial Wind will move on to the semifinals, and Tamu White and SS Nautilus will be playing tomorrow. And do or die time, going to be very interesting to see how that one turns out. I'm excited for it personally, and I believe we will also have a new casting duo to bring to you here, and that looks to be Wacky and Woody will be casting that tomorrow. They will be making their Encore Overwatch debuts, which I'm super pumped for.
I'm very excited. I've had a lot of fun casting each of these matches today and yesterday. I just want to thank the cast Encore Overwatch for giving me this opportunity. It's been my dream to cast any kind of sports league, and because you gave this to me, I just want to say thank you to all the fans for the support. Let me know if you want me to come back. I would love to continue to do this.
I mean, from my perspective, you have absolutely, blown this just out of the water. It has been such a pleasure to cast alongside you. And really carry the heavy load as I'm here trying to manage the audio and the camera. And I'd also like to apologize for the audio glitch we had earlier. Apologize it took a while to get that fixed, but hopefully we got things back up and running in a somewhat timely manner to get you the best content that we can give you. And speaking of which, thank you guys for coming out and enjoying the stream, for supporting the product that we are having here, for supporting the game, and for supporting our players. These guys and girls, they put a lot of hours into the game, and it shows, as we see with all of these adjustments being made in game, with the mechanical skill that we're seeing, just absolutely out of this world. And being able to shine a light on these players is something that truly motivates us, and we're glad that you're able to come out and enjoy this and support the players and support Encore Overwatch. And we hope you continue to come back, and we hope to see even more Encore Overwatch action that will just bring the house down in flames, as it were. So, Gorbachev, anything else that you would like to add here before we close off?
I was a player for Celestial Wind, but man, was it fun to watch Celestial Wind and SS Nautilus go. At some points, I was rooting for SS Nautilus to continue to win maps so that we can see even more Overwatch. These two teams were a blast to watch play.
Absolutely. So, again, thank you guys, and for Gorbachev, I'm Ariel, and signing off here. Hope you guys have a great night, whatever you choose to do with that. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll have our losers round 1. Winner gets to go on, loser goes home. So we hope to see you guys there. See you guys.